Alfonso's here, the godfather of the game. Many years of wisdom, remember his name. Speakers on stage, they'll drop the keys. Unlock your power and seize the breeze.
I'm the Godfather, Alfonso Cuadra, and we're doing these lessons from the Godfather, and it's a really, I'm having fun with this series. You know, a lot of comments, I read a lot of your comments. Today we are talking about wholesaling. Wholesaling explained. What is wholesaling in real estate, and how does it work? For example, when we talk about any other industry, wholesaling means that you're going to go buy something for less, right? So you're usually buying it in bulk, or you're buying it below retail or market value, right? And essentially, that's the idea here. Sometimes there's people that add a lot of value to themselves, and they become transactional engineers, meaning they're out there consistently, you know, putting offers, trying to work with sellers, and putting deals under contract. Those contracts, you know, it's in the way you structure the contract. You want to have your assignment clauses, but let's say you have it's your name and or assigns. This now gives you the ability to assign that contract to another party. Why in the world would another party buy real estate from a wholesaler? Why in the world would another party buy real estate from a wholesaler? Well, number one, they probably can get it for less if it's the right deal. Number two, that party may not have the time to go out there and be putting in multiple offers. Here's what I say to wholesalers. It's a great place to start. And for me in my business, I use wholesaling as a way to assign a contract to maybe one of my own corporations, so I wholesale it back to myself. Or I may create a situation where, you know, I have too many deals happening that I need to wholesale it to another party, another investor. And so to simplify things, I'm going to give you a little case study. Let's say we have in this property right here with a market value of roughly around 379. Okay, 379,000. Let's say that's the market value of this particular asset. Let's say we get it under contract. So you put your offer on an APS, and you get an accepted offer of 331,000. Okay, if you go back to a few of my other videos, we talked about the BRRRR strategy, where you make your money on the buy. It's the way you negotiate the deal that impacts the value of that property and ultimately your success in that property. So 331,000, you make your money on the buy, right? So let's say it's worth 380, but you managed to get it down to 331. You have created about $48,000 of value in this deal, right? Because it's worth 380, but you have it under contract for 331. Now, people ask me all the time, Alfonso, what are the books that I need to be reading to be a really good real estate investor? And so what they're expecting me to say is some sort of like book that's going to give them all the ins and outs on real estate. My answer is always the same. You need two types of books. If you want to be successful in real estate, of course, read all the real estate books out there, strategies and learning how to do things, get educated, of course. But you need to focus on sales and you need to focus on leadership. Those two types of books, those are the category of books that you need to be feeding yourself with, so you become a really good salesperson, so you're able to sell yourself to that potential seller to give you the deal, right? It just because you put in a whole bunch of offers doesn't mean that you're going to be successful in wholesaling. You have to be good at selling yourself. You have to be good at selling a vision. You have to be good at creating a really good buyer's list, right? So here's the things that you're going to need to be a really good wholesaler. Number one, determination. Because you're going to get a lot of no's. You're going to get a lot of people just slamming the door in your face. Number two, you need to educate yourself, add value, get mentorship, get coaching, look into Wealth Genius if that's what you want to do. But add value to yourself, and by making sure you read all the other books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, read all the other real estate books that you've heard about. But you need the soft skills, sales and leadership. Now you can go in there and negotiate. You become a transactional engineer. A transactional engineer. That means that you are going in there and creating a deal, a win-win situation. And so what you want to do is get that deal under contract so you create the value the second you have that contract. You have an accepted offer of $331,000. You created $48,000 of value. This deal is conditional. All you have is a piece of paper. That's all you have. You have the right to assign that contract to another party.
My name is Alfonso Cuadra. They call me the Godfather of real estate. I've been in business for over 30 years. In real estate, over 26 years. I built a multi-million-dollar portfolio. And now, I'm going across North America, talking to people and signing checks. I'm looking for deals because I'm building $1 billion portfolio. Is that you? Let me make an offer you can't refuse.
We just don't have enough information to make this decision. There's too many unknowns, and for that reason, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. Assignment. That's all what wholesaling is. It's an assignment of that paper. You're basically selling that opportunity to another investor for a fee. Now, let's say your wholesale fee is $10,000, right? So you sold this asset for $331,000, and you've added an assignment fee of $10,000. The investor that you're assigning the deal to is also getting a value. Because you've created that value in the first place. And so they're getting an additional value of $38,000, for example, or $39,000. So the investor's happy, right? Now this fee, it really depends on you, right? What that fee is going to be. I know some wholesalers that are willing to their wholesale fee is $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. The key is the investor willing to pay that? I've paid really high wholesale fees because I really wanted the deal. I know the value was already built in. So this wholesale fee can be whatever you want, as long as you using logic and reason on why you can justify a higher wholesale fee. But now, in terms of this particular deal, for the wholesaler, there's really no risk involved other than the time, right? Because let's say they can't for whatever reason the deal doesn't close or what have you. Well, guess what? It's conditional. It's a conditional deal in the first place. So, number one, you got to get really good at becoming a transactional engineer, putting deals under contract, and you have to make money on the buy, right? There has to be some meat on the bone there for an investor to want to come and buy that deal from you. Number two, you have to have a really good buyer's list. So you got to get out there, you got to network, you got to connect with people and add people to your buyer's list. So once you get a deal under contract, you simply put a package together, a wholesale package where you can distribute it through your buyer's list. Someone contacts you, you do an assignment agreement. You should use a lawyer. Okay, this is you want to make sure that you connect with your lawyers as you're doing this. Okay, and so you have an assignment agreement, and then you officially assign the contract to the new investor. But guess what? You don't get paid. You don't get the $10,000 unless that investor can close. And so you're not off the hook. You want to be there. You're going to be the liaison between the new purchaser and the seller. You want to make sure that all the due diligence is done, because ultimately, if that deal doesn't close, you are not going to get that assignment fee. But once a deal is closed, you get that assignment fee. You know, this could be a very lucrative strategy to use. Now, my warning to you is that it's very market specific, right? And what happens when you're in a market where, you know, it's an expansion market where everything is expanding, all the prices are going up. Well, there's going to be a lot of wholesalers out there, you know. But once you start seeing the market correct, or you start seeing prices soften, you won't see as many wholesalers, but that could be the opportunity for the people that really want to put in the work. And so, for example, on a simple $10,000, if you did one wholesale deal every month, so if you became a transactional engineer and you're putting multiple deals under contract, and let's say you close one a month, for the next 12 months, that's $120,000 a year. And if you did 2 wholesale deals a month, that on a very minimum $10,000, but the average wholesale assignment fee is going to be more than $10,000. But on a very bare minimum of $10,000, 2 wholesale deals a year, that's about $240,000 of revenue in your business. And ultimately, what are you going to do with that revenue? As you know, The Godfather is a multifamily, fanatic, and I have an addiction to real estate. So I will be turning some of those wholesale transactions. I wouldn't be buying cars, jewelry, or trips. I would be taking that capital and I'd be reinvesting it directly into more buy and hold type of strategies. And so the wholesaling could be a really great strategy to start, to raise some capital, so you can redeploy that capital directly into some apartment buildings. And if you want to know how to do that, you want to reach out to The Godfather.
Join us for our 10th and biggest Expand Investor Conference. And this year, this November, we are doing it in Calgary, Alberta. Yeah! And it's gonna be a big one. And I want you to go and get your tickets right away. Our Expand Investor Conference, our 10th edition of our Expand Investor Conference is happening in Alberta. Get your tickets right away.